Hey everybody, welcome to Harmon Renovations. It is a brisk morning here in Alabama, and we're back on the house for a couple days before we got to get back on some trucks for a couple days. I'm burning the candle at both ends, trying to do all this stuff and keep you guys updated on all of it. So this morning, first thing, I've told you already that the door to the bathroom is going to be a sliding barn style door, and I had been looking for a door that was wide enough to cover the opening that I made for the door, because I didn't put a lot of thought into what kind of door I could get to put over it. I just said, oh, this is the size I want. So I made the opening like 34 inches ish. And so finding an interior door, or any door for that matter, that fit that build, it's been kind of tough. Well, I had a buddy stop by and I was talking to him, and he goes, well, I got an old 36-inch door, but it's broke. And I said, well, what do you mean it's broke? He goes, well, like the side busted off of it. And I said, well, is it fixable? He goes, I don't know, I'll bring it over and drop it off, and if you can fix it, you can have it. So he brought it over. Here it is. It's a 36-inch door. It's the right color, all of that. And the dowels broke where it dowels together, and it's got a crack down there. But I think it's fixable. I am not much of a wood restorer or woodworker, but I have a friend who is. So you guys know him. He's been on the channel. He's a really good friend of mine. We're gonna load this thing up. We're gonna take it over to his shop, and we're gonna see if we can do anything with it. All right, I took that door over to my buddy's, and he had some stuff going on he was doing this morning or today, and didn't have time to get to it right now. So we just dropped it off, and I told him if he wanted to call me so I could come over and film it and help him fix it, to do that, and if not, then whatever. So he said okay. So we may get the door back already fixed, and we may get to have some of it on film. We'll figure out when the time comes. Anyways, we're back over at the house. I had to go get a little space heater because it's barely 50 degrees outside, and I need to primer those boards before I put them up, because one of you guys commented and said that they had messed with that stuff before, and that one sheet would take a whole gallon of primer if you don't lay it down and do it on sawhorses before you put it up. And I don't feel like buying a whole bunch more primer, so I'm gonna try that method, see how it goes. First things first, in here I had to take the light down because it was hanging on the wall, and I got to put wall board up and whatnot, but I have to enclose this. This is the air return for the air handler. So this side has to be closed in because the air hole has to get sucked through here so that it goes through the filter. So I have to, you get it, I've got to plug this side. I have to take this filter grate deal off. I'll put a new board up over here. I've already got a board mark to cut to put in there, and then we can put that back on. We still have to do that wall. This is all enclosed. We still have to do here. And then I'm gonna build shelves in here, probably from like right here down to right here, floor to ceiling, so we can have like a pantry to keep, you know, toilet paper, paper towels, canned goods, stuff like that. Just essentially more storage, because there's not a lot of storage here. So I already have this board marked. I did it the other day to go in there, so I'm gonna get it cut out. I'll get it put in there. I gotta figure out what holds that grate with the filter in it in there and get that in. Probably gonna put my light back up here so I can see what I'm doing in there until I get out of that corner and everything. We'll see. I'm just gonna keep working, and I'll keep letting you guys know what I'm doing, and if there's something to show you, I'll show you, and if there's not, I won't, and we're just gonna push forward. All right, well, As you may be able to hear, it's running. I got it all boxed in, sealed up, got a brand new filter put in the cold air return, and we ran our wires over and we got a thermostat. So I turned it on this morning. It was 48 degrees in here. I set it to 65 and it's 65 now. I just kicked it up to 68 because I'm about to come in here and start polyurethaning in the bathroom. Now, I need to do the floor and I need to do this side of this wall. Multiple coats on both, and it needs to be warm enough that it's going to dry and cure good. So I'm going to let that run for a minute, well, a couple minutes, get it up to like 68. I'm going to read the directions and see what the optimal temperatures on the poly is, and then I'm going to start painting the wall. That wall has already been cleaned real good and it's ready to go. The floor has not, but I'm going to come in here, I'm going to do that wall, and then I'm going to come and clean the floor, and I'll start down there and work my way out the door after I clean the floor, because I'm not going to clean the floor and go in there and walk on it and everything. Like, I'm going to clean my way out the door and then I'll paint, you know what I mean. You got it. So I'm going to get the temp up a little bit, which I can already feel the heat working. So I'll get the temp up a little bit and I'll read and see what that poly is, and I'll start getting it ready and we'll start getting it coated. Okay, well, I thought about it and tried and everything else, and couldn't figure out a way to get a camera in here where I could film where you could see me. Like when I was over there, if the camera was back here, I'd have been blocking you. And when I got over here, I would have had to put the camera behind where I'm standing right now, and I still would have been blocking you. But either way, the whole side of the dark gray is done. The whole side of the bathtub wall is done, and the whole floor is done with the first coat. Can't really tell other than it's kind of shiny now, and it darkened it up some, and it really shows like the, I don't know if you can see it over there, you can, like the staining in the wood. I think it looks kind of cool. So that's got to dry for minimum 2 hours, which probably means till tomorrow, honestly. The reason I didn't do the top is because I've got to repaint that with gray, and I can touch it up later. The main thing right now is getting the floor done, because if I get the floor done, I can put the sink in, I can bring my washer and dryer in, stuff like that. So getting the floor coated was important. Got one coat on. Probably only going to do two, but we'll see how it is after the second coat gets put on. And the next thing that I'm going to do is put a vent in the utility room door, because we have our cold air return for our furnace, and if you shut this door with it all sealed up, it can't pull air in. So I've got this vent right here to put in the door. I took this piece of cardboard that came with it and cut it down so that it was only as big as the vents. I'm going to bring this over, transfer it onto this door, and then I'll measure and I'll go to the other side and mark it in the exact same spot. I'll cut both sides, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do it on camera so you guys can see what I'm doing, because I can actually get to that and film what I'm doing. So you get the gist of it. I'm going to cut a hole in the door. I'm going to put a vent in it. Obviously, it's a hollow door. I can't just leave it, so we got to do some work to it. You get the picture. So we're going to get started on that and see if we can't get that done. $15.5. 7.5 would be 15. So 7 32. So that would be, oh, come on. It's actually 31 3/4. So it would be 15 7/8. No, come on. 27 inches. And then I just want to check real quick and make sure that it's 4, 8, 8, 8, 8. Okay. Now, this is the part where we thoroughly mess this up, and then we go and buy a new door. Okay. All right. One side's out. Now, I'm gonna transfer my measurements over to the other side. And we'll do the exact same thing over there. And then we should have, in theory, hopefully, a hole that goes through the door, and then we can put our vent in. So I'll go do that over there and see what happens. All right, got my hole cut out. Took some 2x2, went over to my buddy Art's house on his table saw, and he helped me shave them down to 1 1/4 inches so it fit inside this door. And if you've ever had one of these doors open before, you know there's like cardboard honeycomb in there. So what I did is I just took and pushed the cardboard down like so it's still there in the rest of the door, but it's just pushed back to where my board will fit in there. So this is in there like this, so I've got a good, I don't know, 1 3/4, whatever 2x2 is, in there to attach stuff to. So now I got my grate and some screws here. I'm just gonna go ahead and screw this up here. I guess you want your fins to go down, huh? So I gotta have something to hold the door while I do this. That's not gonna work. I screwed that up good. You guys get the point. I kind of got to do this where I'm in the middle of the camera or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this screwed on there, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I get done. All right, I have been absolutely terrible about updating and filming anything, but I haven't really been getting that much work done either. I don't think I ever showed you guys the finished product on our cold air return vent here. I got it all done, got it framed out on this side. Our vent's all installed on this side. Turned out good. Now before I show you guys this, it's a utility closet, and I wasn't gonna spend a bunch of money on it because it's literally just for the breaker panel and the furnace or the air handler, and then I'm gonna put some shelves in here for like a pantry store, you know, non-perishable food items and whatever else I need storage room for. So I used what I had, so I didn't go out and spend a bunch of money, but there's 3 different types of paneling in here. I used a sheet of plywood that I had for the ceiling, put in my door for my attic, and we sealed everything with expanding foam. So that's about the best this room's gonna get, and at the end of the day, when you close the door, you don't see it. So I'm gonna get started on building some shelves in here. They're just gonna come out pretty much to here, and then probably go floor to ceiling. I'll tie them into the ceiling and the floor, and I'll just put, you know, decently spaced shelves in there. So I'm gonna get started working on that, and I'll actually remember to update you guys a little bit as I go, and we'll just keep plugging away. Okay, I've been slaving away. I had the power go out on me again. It's kind of starting to turn into a regular thing. This time a tree fell on a line. Took the line down, fell in the woods. Woods caught on fire. Whatever. 2 hours later, I got power back. We got back to work, and I made some good progress on my shelves in here. So here they are. You guys may be saying that's not the way I would have done that, and that's fine. It's the way I did it. I'm gonna have a shelf that's 15 1/4 deep by 40 1/4 long. I'm not going to notch out this corner and have the shelf come out. It's only gonna be in here where the framing is. So I've got a good gap up here at the top for bigger stuff. These shelves are average, and then I left a big space at the bottom in case you want to store big stuff down there. So got everything screwed to the wall or to something that's screwed to the wall, and right here those are just tied together with those brackets. Probably overdone because the side pieces are screwed to the wall and the back pieces are screwed to the wall, so those brackets really aren't necessary. But I got 2 2x3s here that I made a post out of, and it kind of sticks out, but you got to go that way to do any of that anyways, so it's not hurting anything. I left enough room in here that you can get in to the access panel for that and anything else you need to do in here. So now all I got to do is cut 4 pieces of plywood to fit in there for the shelves, screw them down, and my utility room, other than mounting a light somewhere other than where it's at right now, will be done. So my polyurethane's dry in my bathroom. It's been almost 24 hours since I put that on, so it should be dried and cured. I should have a washing machine coming either tonight or tomorrow. I already have a dryer over there, so we can make our sink cabinet, put our sink in, caulk the bathroom, trim out the bathroom. The washer and dryer will be ready to go in. Like, we'll almost be able to finish the bathroom, and that'll be, well, I guess if I put these shelves up, the utility room will be finished. But the actual, like, necessary usable room, the bathroom, will be done. So that'll be huge. I don't know if I showed you guys or not, but I was able to go and get my kitchen cabinets. I've got countertops. I have no idea how to install them. I've never done it before, but I'm gonna see if I can get a buddy to come over that has. If not, I'll just wing it. Here's what it is. One way or another, they'll be in there. So, yeah, I'm gonna cut the wood for these, get it put up, and we'll just keep going. 2 out of the 4 shelves are cut and installed. I'll do the top one and the bottom one. I'll get those knocked out real quick, and I think the pantry will be done at that point. Or wait, this is the pantry. That's the breaker panel room. That's the utility room. You get it. All right, shelves are done. Should be good storage for, I mean, honestly, for like food, you probably only need one. So I've got some extra shelves for storage. I left a bunch of room underneath to have room down there. I left a bigger gap at the top for bigger storage items. And that's pretty much it for the utility room. Like, I got everything, got the ceiling in. I think I showed you guys that. I got my door for my attic. I sealed in all around the ducting for the air handler. Got the wall insulated and paneled. The floor's done. And I have to figure out what I'm gonna do for a light in here, but for right now, that works. So I thought about moving this light in there because there's another one right there and right there and right there and everywhere, but the switch for it is over there. So I'm not an electrician. I can't do all that stuff myself. So for right now, that light hanging on the wall in there works just fine. And so that's what we're gonna go with. It's not like I need that outlet that it's plugged into or anything, because it's in a utility closet. What am I gonna plug in there? So done stamp. One room finished. I know it's not much, but it's something. Then we got this room that I've been getting close to finishing forever, and it is not done yet. So I can, now that the polyurethaning is done, I can put my sink in, and then once I get the sink put in, then I'll caulk everything. I need to caulk along here. I need to caulk right there. I need to caulk the holes in the tin, the existing holes in the tin. I need to caulk down there. I need to caulk all down there. I need to caulk all the way around the tub, along the floor, so on and so forth. Around the bottom of the toilet, around where the sink goes to the wall. All that stuff needs to be caulked. So I'm gonna start, we're gonna have a little bit of a project here, because that is not a vanity for the sink. That is a dresser that I bought from the Habitat store. So we need to get that, take it apart. We need to take the drawer part out of the top so that there's room for the sink to sit in there. And then I need to take some measurements and figure out how much of the bottom I have to cut out to get it over the water stuff. So yeah. Yep. See how it goes. All right. I guess some people's feelings are probably going to get hurt a little bit, because this is kind of resemblant of a antique dresser. And I'm going to beat it up and turn it into a sink basin. So I can tell you one thing, it is extremely heavy. Like, I just carried it over here and regretted every second of it. But I'm gonna take this front drawer, or the top drawer, take it apart, and then I have to take the top off, and then we will do some measuring, find out where it needs to go in the bathroom there, and get our sink put on it. Now, I've never done this before, once again. Notice a pattern here? Yeah, I'm not really a carpenter, and I haven't done a lot of this stuff, but it doesn't seem that hard, you know. Just take a drawer off and stuff, and yeah, top off, put sink in, glue down, put in bathroom. I don't know, seems pretty logical to me. So let me get a hammer and we'll start breaking stuff. All I gotta do is find out what I did with the hammer. Right. So. Maybe. Okay. Progress was made. We figured out how to get a dang drawer out. Alright. Hey. It's screwed down. That could be why it's not wanting to come off. And somebody, not going to mention any names, but a little girl that likes to play with her dad's flashlight left the flashlight on, and for some reason you leave them on, they don't work anymore. So looks like that is a Phillips. So I'm going to get a Phillips bit and another driver and see if we can get that to come off. We got it. The back is just a panel that's stapled to it. So, ta-da! That comes off like that, but so now I can put the screws back in the sides because that'll give us more of a lip for the sink to sit on. But I want this front lip that I believe is just glued on here. Or maybe not. Gotta be mildly attached somehow. Or majorly attached somehow. Dang it. They put that sucker on there, Jack. It's already broken like 4 spots. know what kind of dang glue they use, but that stuff is, oh man, just that top is heavy. Some good stuff. Now, I don't know that this piece is any good anymore. Now, I need to go into the bathroom, find out where this sucker's gonna sit, and then take measurements of where it's going to need to be cut at the bottom for our water and that stuff to come through. So I'm gonna carry it in there, and then I'll bring you guys in there if I can, and we'll see. Alright, so I got it carried in here. That's about where I want it. It's not tight up against the edge of the door. Still got room for your legs and stuff when you're in the, you know, office area over there. And obviously it's going to get pushed all the way back against the wall. So I got my water right in the center. I got my drain pipe offset there. So what I'm going to do is take my pencil, and I should be able to leave the backing on there, and then I'm just going to look down here like this and see about where my drain pipe is. I'm going to go, okay, it's right about there. I need open. And then same thing with my cold and hot water. Right about there, I need open. And then I'll move this back out of here, because for one thing I don't want to make a mess on my freshly polyurethane floor, because even though it's dry, it takes, I think they said 48 to 72 hours to fully cure. They say you can walk on it and stuff like that. You just don't want to scratch it or scrape it or anything. So I'm going to pull that back out here. I will take measurements from the wall out for my drain and all that stuff. Those water lines will come up higher. They're just down there because they are loose. They just fall. So those will come up higher into there, and my drain will come up into there, and that'll be fine. So yeah, I'll take measurements off the wall and go, okay, I need to come out this far for it all to clear, and then we'll finish marking it, and then I'll drill some holes in it, and then I'll cut it out with the jigsaw, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. All right, I got that cut out. The floor is sealed. Like everything down there is all sealed up where bugs and animals and everything else can't get in, so I'm not worried about sealing that hole. I am going to take some little screws and probably stick like 4 of them in there. And I'm not really screwing it to the wall. I mean, I am, but I'm not doing it to, I mean, with the weight of it and the sink on it, it shouldn't really go anywhere. It definitely isn't going to go up. I just want to put something there to keep it from going side to side. So it may not need it, I don't know. But I'm going to put a couple screws in it. Somewhere in this catastrophic eruption, there is, or maybe it's in the catastrophic eruption in the back of my Suburban. One or the other, there's a tube of liquid nail. And I'm going to find it. And we'll put a little bit of liquid nail down here and a little bit of liquid nail down here, and that's just going to kind of keep the sink in place. And then when we caulk around the whole outside of it, that should help and keep it from moving also. So that's the plan. I'm going to slap these screws in. Once I find the liquid nail, I will bring you guys back. We will liquid nail that. I'll set that sink. We are not gonna cut down drawers and all that stuff tonight, or probably on this video, because I have to do all the plumbing and everything, so I know where they're gonna be. So that being said, I'm gonna go stick these screws in. I'm gonna find some liquid nail. I'll set you guys up in the corner of the bathroom over there somewhere where you can kind of see what I'm doing, and I'll set that sink, which is the sink that was in here when I got the place. So let's just say it probably needs to be cleaned. I haven't even really looked at it, so I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna keep doing what I just said I was gonna do. I'll bring you guys along for the ride. All right. If anybody cares, the liquid nail was in the catastrophic explosion of a Suburban out there. Only took about 10 minutes to find it, not bad. So I spent a lot more time looking for stuff than that lately. So I'm just gonna put a nice bead on here. Hopefully not enough that I don't care if it squeezes out into the cabinet. I just don't want it to squeeze out the outside. And I don't think this is even, well, take that back. I was gonna say I don't think it's necessary, but I think it's necessary. I had people tell me not to worry about it, because by the time you set the sink on there and then caulk it, it ain't going nowhere. But I prefer just a little extra safety measure, I guess you'd call it, of this. So bam, there it is, done. Like I said, this sink is pretty nasty because it's the one that came out of here, but we'll get her cleaned up. I'm gonna replace the drain and probably the faucet. Pretty well centered right there. So once again, it matches nothing in the bathroom. White toilet, white bathtub, dark cream shower surround, you know, whatever. And then this yellowish pink sink. Looks good to me. Once we caulk around it over here, across the top, I'll have a big mirror in here so I can look at ugly every morning. And that's about it. Should be fine. So, alright, we're gonna let that sit. We'll work on the rest after that's done doing its thing, whatever its thing is. We'll hook the faucet up. I might get a new one, depends what it costs, but definitely getting a new drain. That one's gross. And then once I get everything hooked up, then I can adjust the drawers to fit. I know I can't have a top drawer, it's just going to be the face of it. I might do just the face on the bottom drawer also, and then just have one drawer in the middle. Or I might just do all drawer faces and not have any drawers. I don't really know of anything that... I do have stuff I could put in the drawers. I'll probably get a drawer. I'm just thinking out loud now, so no reason for you guys to listen. I might go grab some screws and the little brackets and set the mirror up there, see how it looks. Yeah, we might do that. Alright, I know this isn't necessarily like the right order. Like, I should probably finish one thing before I do something else, and like, what's the purpose of putting the mirror up? Like, yeah, I know. But, like, this is just something that I can do. And so, yeah. So what it does is, I already got the bottom tabs on this right here and right here. And it sits in those and then goes up, and these tabs push down on top of it to hold it. I'm not saying it's like a good thing, but it's just whatever. Well, somebody else lit their yard on fire, about the fourth one today. Nobody understands the principle of it's dry outside. Don't burn. Anyways, I'm gonna grab the mirror. Alright, this mirror measures 34 by 36. And dang it. I gotta raise those up some more. Anyways, the mirror measures 34 by 36. I am gonna redo it because I was gonna put it the way I was just putting it up. And like when I'm looking straight forward, I'm looking over the mirror. So for one thing, I'm gonna raise the whole thing up more. And second, I'm gonna turn it so it's 36 tall and 34 wide instead of the other way. All right, let's try this again. Are we gonna have a mirror this time? Hopefully we don't drop it and break it. Hey, did something there. Ta-da! We have a mirror, and I barely have to duck to see in it now. I don't want to go too high with it because I have a 4-year-old that'll probably need a stool to get in the sink. And this is about what I'm used to. I'm above average height. So I eyeballed it. There's about an inch on either side. Perfect. So mirror's done. All right. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? I think so. And we got this in here going. Art's supposed to come over maybe tomorrow, maybe early next week. Wire in the hot water heater, wire in the plug for the dryer, plug for the washer, and there's a plug over there. Supposed to wire those, finish those in, put the plugs in, whatever. I gotta finish this, no big deal. Like I said, I still gotta caulk and do trim and finish everything out. But we made progress. So all the polyurethaning is done. This is all polyurethane with 3 heavy coats. The whole floor, you may be able to, I don't know how well you can tell the difference between the floor and the wall, but the walls are not polyurethane. The floor is, and it really like brought out the stains in the wood and kind of changed it. I like it. I think it looks cool. Made it more gray instead of white and whatever. I like it, but all the polyurethane is done. Our utility closet's done. We got our last big piece in the bathroom. The rest is just, you know, little stuff. So it may be a little tight once we get our washer and dryer in here to walk through here, but it is what it is. Worst case, I'll bring the washer and dryer all the way over here. We'll just have to see what happens. I don't think it's going to be that bad. So anyways, I don't want to keep dragging this video out. I've already been dragging it out. I've been trying to get work done, but I've been spending a lot of time driving around, picking stuff up, getting cabinets and ordering countertops and having to go back and get them and going and picking up dryers and parts here and parts there and everything. And it's just been, it's taken up a lot of time. And I've just been steadily working like that utility room, paneling it all up and sealing it all up and finishing it all up. That took some time. Polyurethaning and waiting for it to dry and all that took some time, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna end off this video because once again, the house videos aren't really this is how you do it videos. They're more just updates of this is what I'm doing videos. And I need to get back over to Studio 2 because all of my regular followers on here know that I missed my Tuesday upload. which I very, very rarely do. But like I said, I've been doing a lot of running around. If you can see over there in Studio 2, we got the Willies sitting out on the apron, and I already started a video on that, and I have to get back on it tomorrow so that I can have Tuesday's upload done. So that's what we're gonna do. Thank you guys so much for watching. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you next time.